Okay, and so this is part two. Now, the way they manipulate the brain is just nonsensical. It's just disgusting, and then they try to make you accepting of it. It gets as bad as extreme, disturbing manipulation, reaction, stimulations towards just babies. But they do that to babies, from babies to older kids or anybody who looks like a kid. It's just something always like, for example, 2 seconds ago, there's this mental battle that this is how stupid it gets when they start playing with your thought process. There was this person, this diver, right? It looked like a diver, and you know those divers, the professional divers that dive from like the bridge, like you know like those extreme divers. Now this diver looks young. I could tell that she's maybe just because she's a diver. I think she's more young adult, right? Early 20s or so. But it can go either way too. But because of the job, you know, like what she's doing, she's a professional diver in the bridge. That's obviously most likely going to be an adult, a young adult of some sort. But she looks young, right? It's hard to just 100% be sure. And so I check her age. She's like a 25-year-old per diver, right? But when you look at the videos, the picture before you see the video, is she look closer to a young adult. When you see the video, I'm like, oh my gosh, is she a young adult? Because in this video, she looked like, more like a teenager, but she's a 25-year-old who looks young, you know. And they start trying to create these battles and make me think, oh, but what about the 20-some-year-old that you were, you know, you're watching fitness model, you know, how you see how you could see her, so that means that if you're able to see her like that, you could see her, and so yeah, the teenager. I was like, try to make these things up, these dialogues and creations and thought process. And to be honest, when I saw the video, I was like, oh, she looks really young, even though I've seen 25-year-old and be like, oh my gosh, she's a beautiful 25-year-old, of course. But she's more like, she looked more like a kid, like not a kid. She's an adult, right? But she doesn't, you know. I won't be like, oh, you know. And there's nothing wrong with her. But they were creating a battle in a sense. But there's something there you can see that if you can look at it, like, I'm like, okay, she's 25 too. Just because today for sure they make me have this nasty reaction toward children, the youngest one to the oldest one, and they use this trash, these losers of human beings. They have no self-respect. That is like children who have like, I don't care how stupid I sound. So they are, you see. And then you see, it's just, and they use these ways of thinking and rewind your thought process, these illogical ways, but that's part of what they do. Let me show you the thought process and what the type of manipulation they do.
I have my own free will.
V2K, or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual, as well as just
It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of it. Like this disgusting thing. And you saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing. I don't know how they do it. I don't care. I don't know if it's through my parents. I don't know. I don't care.
This is a common breakdown tactic of belief systems and of human will. In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds, and vice versa.
is they use they use these monarch style um, torture programs, like it's based on sex and trauma. So they're gonna traumatize you, they'll use your libido to get back at you, and
This technology can be used to sexually manipulate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal.
Experience what is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams and form of torture. They coordinate the voice. I really mean extreme. I experienced an entire night with forced spontaneous orgasms repeatedly all through the night, one right after another, with maybe around 1 hour of sleep or so, as I lay immobilized in my bed.
Able to impose any information on the brain of a person, presumably by some kind of waves, which in the mind take the form of voices, thoughts, and images in imagination. In addition to this kind of implanting information that they need, they manipulate the psyche so that the information is written into your memory. Then by stimulating the certain regions in the brain, they can retrieve this information and present it as your own memory. This is the conclusion that can be made judging by the influence they have been making on me with their psychotronic weapons, for example artificial thoughts, imagination, and mental torture.
I also often see highly disturbing pornographic images and videos, including highly disturbing pedophilia type of images.
So they have these tactics of pedophilia type of tormenting. They do that consistently, and they want you to accept this persona. I mean, the nasty manipulation they make me have. Let me see if I have a screenshot of at least one of the last thing they did. Let me. I'm sure there's one. For example, this little kid over there. This stimulations. Matter of fact, they were playing with me with this the show I used to watch and just creating this thought process. Just so stupid. Jesus. These perps, they use these losers of human beings. And the thing that kills me, that gets me, not because what they kill me is what they do to my organs, but what the stupidity of it all and how they try to sound is like serious. I was like, oh, now you don't. I'm like, Jesus, you're a clown. Like they have created I can't even believe they're able to just be in character to that level. And I know it's a character. They really want you at some point that you're going to be identified. Look, listen to how I'm laughing. And they use that using the voice to score. I'm like, you have zero credibility. I know you're a clown. I have zero. You are a human clown. I find pleasure in just knowing that this clown is going to do this acting. He lives and eats ways to rewire the brain. This like mental battles they were having. Some of it is just almost like on the spectrum. Listen, I don't know if you can see this. Give me a second. So let me just show you how stupid things get. I'll go through my YouTube. I see this thing about this cliff diving. I see this person here. You know, I'm assuming that's most likely a young adult or so. That's what you see, right? I'm like, it must be like a young adult or so. But they try to, you know, make me look at this person in a sexual way. I'm like, okay, you can, you know, this, like, you can create some kind of, and I'm like, she must be like a young, early 20s or something like that, right? I go through the videos. I see this.
Yes, indeed.